Box number 1. By the way, these are in no particular order. I'm just grabbing them and opening them and showing you what's inside as I go. The bubble wrap is, it's like, I guess, a little bit of cushion and just kind of to fill in gaps so stuff didn't move around, but also to protect, in case like somebody helping us move, like set the box down in something, there'd be a little bit of protective layer. I'm just gonna, to be quicker, I'm only gonna stop on things that are important to me. I'm gonna assume you can all, see what you're looking at and read. Like, for example, here, even if you don't know Japanese, it still says angelic layer. So obviously you know what that says. Panty and stocking. I think this is rare. I only ever have seen one, and I bought it. I got it from like kind of a small sketchy internet shop that I found. I wasn't even sure if it was gonna arrive, but the price was okay, so I thought either I'm only out like $8 or I get lucky and it arrives, and it arrived. This was a few years ago. Mamo no Hanta Yoko. This also, the first time I put this on my collection list and then I googled for more information about this series, the only thing that showed up was my own webpage, my own list. I think there are more links now. I should probably check again. But yeah. Yeah, I like to keep the obies on. I don't know. Urusei Yatsura is probably my favorite series, manga series. And I've actually put the most effort into obtaining all of them. I don't have all of the Shinsoban, but I have all the wideband, all the original series. All the series film comics. I still have a few of the movie film comics to get. I have almost half of the Shonen Sunday graphic, I guess, magazines for Urusei Yatsura. So, okay, let's finish this box really quick, and then I'll go to actually putting stuff on the shelf. Oh, I think now might be a good time to show you this. Okay, so this is A Megami-sama, or Oh My Goddess, I guess they call it in English. I actually had the first volume in English when I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something. Anyway, I only have up to number 18. I know there's more. But anyone who's interested in manga already probably knows this, but an artist's style generally changes over time. It's arguable whether you think they're getting better or if just their tastes are changing. So as you can see, over on the left is what Belldandy looked like in the first volume. And that right there is what Belldandy looks like in volume 17. So this is volume 1, volume 18. And volume 17 right here. But these two styles are the same, obviously, they're right in a row. Anyway, there's about a 9 to 10 year difference between this, when he drew this volume, and when he drew the art for this volume. So this is how his style has changed over the span of about 10 years. So this was 1989, and this was 1998. And there you have it. Another thing I wanted to show you is this right here. I got volume 8 from Book Off. So it was, let me see. Yeah, it was only $1. So I was missing number 8. And this was the only one available, and I figured for $1 I could at least complete my series. And then later, if I find a better quality volume 8, I will replace this one. So, like, as long as you're not breaking the bank, it's okay to do this. Obviously, this is barely worth $1 in my opinion because the chewed up nature of the book, but it's still, the pages are okay. It's just mostly the cover that's damaged, and it's generally kind of gross and it's really yellow. Anyway, so my point is, gaps in my collection or in a storyline that I'm trying to follow really, really annoy me. So for me, spending $1 just to have it until I find a better one is worth it. And then also, I'm not going to regret it if I never find a replacement number 8. I at least have this one. So there you go. And this series isn't one of the most important series to me that I follow. Like, it's a classic and that's why I wanted it, but like, as you saw, I didn't follow past volume 18. But I like to be, what I do have, I want to be complete, if that makes sense. And the same with these, the wide bond Urusei Yatsura. They're all relatively the same condition. There's not a lot of fading in the color. And they all have glossy covers. But my number 4, you can't really see it in the video, but my number 4 is a matte finish instead of glossy. And my number 11 has a really severe fading on the spine. But I wanted to get them anyway, because then I have all 15 volumes. And I care more about having them all than having them all the same. I mean, having them all the same would be icing on the cake. And here we have the complete full set of Dragon Ball. Whew! I'm not going to bother pulling them all out for the video, but this is basically the last thing in the box. The story behind these is when I was like, I guess 15 or 16, I bought them from somebody who went to my school for like $2 a volume, per volume, like $1 or $2 per volume. And just to give you perspective, this was half of my life ago. I'm actually 31 right now. A lot of people don't seem to realize that I'm in my 30s. But yeah, I'm older than you thought I was. Anyway, so like 14 years ago, I got all of these for $2 each. And now I quite often see this full set going for like way more than double than what I paid for it. And the person who sold them to me actually regretted it afterward, but sorry. Again, this is a classic. It's not super important to me, other than it was one of the anime that was on TV as I was growing up in English. And it is a classic in Japan, obviously. So I really wanted to have it. It's like one of those things that if you're going to have a manga collection, I just felt like I have to have this one. I had to have certain ones because they're classic. But I'm fine with just these, and I'm done. And then over here, you may have noticed some poor books shoved in here. So I kind of put them on the outside to help wedge the more important manga in the box so they didn't move around a lot. Because when you're moving, you don't want a lot of movement. Because then if there's a lot of movement, then the spine could be, it's probably not gonna cause immediate damage to anything, but any kind of friction on your books over time, it adds up, kind of like a erosion. Okay, so that's box 1. There are many more boxes. I'm probably gonna do 1 video per box, unless I come upon a really boring box, and then I might do 2 or 3 boxes per video, depending on how quickly I can get unpacking. Because I've already been moved for a couple months, and I'm only just now finally the shelves are up and I have some time to do the unpacking.